Good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I apologize for the abrupt ending of the video yesterday. However, I had a few issues with Wi-Fi and connectivity. Uh, Going back to the topic at hand, guys, the coronavirus in South Africa. It's official, it's there. One positive thing is that the reported case in a free state with human to human transmission was rolled back. Apparently, uh, it there was a misunderstanding with regards to that there. So that's really something very, very positive. Um, Latest figures, ones that I've just checked about a minute ago, says that South Africa has 16 official cases um, within our borders. Uh, it's a lot better than most countries in the world, but it's still a very, very frightening statistic. Um, Apparently, the plane used to repatriate 122 South Africans from Wuhan, which was the epicenter of the coronavirus, landed at 7:20 this morning. That being said, hopefully everybody's well. I'm pretty sure that steps would have been taken by government to ensure that those 122 repatriated expats were screened, and containment measures were put in place to get them to the quarantine facility. So I'm hoping that's pretty good. I heard some news that the South African government has a moratorium on masks, so that's really, really positive. It means that we shouldn't have a shortage of it. Leading back to yesterday's topic, guys, please, I can't stress how important new social habits are going to be, particularly as cases increase in South Africa, which they are likely to do. If you take a look at the YouTube channel Peak Prosperity, the gentleman there, Dr. John Smith, gives a good breakdown of how this virus starts. One case, then another case, then another case, then a cluster of cases, and another cluster of cases, and a third cluster of cases, and then an explosion. Due to the fact that we've been given some time to prepare for this year, before its arrival on the 1st of March, so that was pretty much 13 days ago. Hopefully we've utilized that time effectively and efficiently to ensure that things have been put in place. It's not all doom and gloom. I am in China. Once again, disclaimer, I am not in the city of Hunan. I am not in Hubei province. I'm in the southern part of China, Guangdong province, which by and large has been spared. That being said, schools are still closed in major cities. Guys, please, I can't stress this enough. If you have access to surgical masks, please wear them. As I said before, I don't trust Tedros from the World Health Organization from as far as I could kick him. People saying that masks don't help, that's not entirely true. It does stop the spread of the infection. While it's less effective at protecting somebody who isn't infected, it is extremely effective in ensuring that should anybody be infected, they don't actually spread it. Guys, we South Africans like our handshakes and stuff like that. We like to lean in and stuff like that. Please, I'm begging. Try and refrain from that there. Washing our hands regularly, making sure that we have hand sanitizer, swabs. Interestingly enough, I found that Lifebuoy and palm olive soap as well as Dettol, just normal soap, is extremely effective as sort of a disinfectant. I heard that at King David in Johannesburg, student is being tested for possibly being infected with the coronavirus. To him and his family, I wish them all the best. I hope that the results come back negative. But yeah, taking precautions during this time here is extremely important. So yes, if your kids don't have to go out, please refrain from allowing them to go out. I read an article this morning from the office of the Department of Basic Education, where they've pretty much said to schools, look, if you feel that there is a need to close, please close. This is what we call responsible governance, guys. We're not waiting on others to tell us what to do in terms of our protection. We're taking, proactive approaches to it. So that's something that's really, really positive. I'm glad to see that there. Yes, I do know that there's a lot of fear. I've seen it on my social media feeds and posts. My Facebook in particular, about people's legitimate concerns and fears with regards to this year. Like I said yesterday, if you aren't afraid, you probably need to have your head checked. This is a highly infectious disease. It only took the World Health Organization 43 days to declare it a pandemic. That's my reason for disdain for the World Health Organization. This really didn't have to get as bad as it got. Had organizations been a little bit more proactive. That being said, I'm glad to see that our politicians and those in government in South Africa are actually stepping up, have stepped up their efforts and continue to step up their efforts in order to protect the population of South Africa. I'm really, really happy about that there. I think the way that they're going about it is extremely responsible. It mirrors that of countries like South Korea. So that's something to bear in mind. So yes, fear, good thing, keeps us alert, keeps us mindful of our habits. Helps us to inculcate good, or not good. Let me rephrase that. There, South Africans have good hygiene habits. It encourages us to improve on our good hygiene habits. So that's absolutely fantastic. If we don't have to go out to football events or sporting events or gatherings or things along those lines, please refrain from it. It's not a nice thing, but the alternative is something that we really shouldn't even consider at this particular point in time. Once again, trust your gut on this here, guys. If you feel that going to a particular place is going to increase the risk of you getting an infection, and stay away from it. Nobody can fault you for wanting to protect yourselves, your families, your loved ones, your friends, and by and large, the country as a whole. So do what you need to do, trust yourself, don't give in to panic. That is, I can't stress that enough. Panicking, infighting, is just not going to help in any manner, shape, or form. That's just the reality of the situation. Panic leads to chaos. Chaos leads to missteps in our ability to think rationally and to protect ourselves effectively and efficiently. Please be mindful and respectful when posting on public platforms. Uh, this disease, yes, doesn't know any race, religion, creed. Um, it doesn't care. Let's put it that way. That being said, PC culture, this whole politically correct culture that's going around globally, is a joke. If I would not take any offense to it, if my family and I came back to South Africa from China and we were told to go into quarantine and people were a little bit apprehensive about talking to me, I wouldn't take it the wrong way. You shouldn't take it the wrong way either. Um, Look at statistics, look at places, hotspots, these type of things. Don't let anybody make you feel like you are being racist or prejudiced or you know vile if you refrain from going to certain places. No blame, no shame. Where the problem does come in is when we start slandering people, start abusing people. Um, Going to quarantine sites and wanting to demonstrate and burn things down does not help. It's just going to put you in a situation where you are likely to contract that there simply because of the close proximity. So yeah, be mindful, be alert, be vigilant. Don't panic. Um, yeah, um, these are some of the advices that I can give. Undoubtedly, I'm not here to lie to you. My channel isn't monetized, and I like it that way. I prefer it that way. It gives me a platform to be open and honest, or as open and honest as I can possibly be. Um, yes, the economy is going to take a hit, guys. Expect it. Cecil has lost 95% of its value on the stock exchange. These are things that happen in times of pandemics. Uh, to get angry about it, yeah, sure. To express our anger about it, absolutely fine. Pointing fingers, laying the blame game, condemning people, not cool. Not cool at all. Bear that in mind, guys. Nobody's saying you don't have a right to be scared. Nobody's saying you don't have a right to refrain from places where you might feel like the chances of infection are higher. Um, we are South Africans. The bottom line is everyone across the world is doing what they need to do to, ensure that their countrymen are protected from it. I don't really care what people think of South Africa or South Africans for taking the steps that we might take. Should it get to a point where quarantining on a city scale is necessary, don't fight it. Yes, we enjoy our civil liberties in South Africa, as we should. It's enshrined in our constitution. It's our God-given right. However, be responsible about it. Without rights, we have responsibilities. One to ourselves, two to our families, loved ones, friends, and the general population of South Africa as a whole. Please do not panic buy. I'm not saying, just go to Pick and Pay or ShopRite or whatever on a daily basis. If you are going, buy your groceries for a week at a time if it's at all possible. Less exposure outside lowers your chances of infection. Social distancing is really, really important. For us as South Africans, that's a bit of a hard thing. We love to socialize with one another. We love to, engage with one another. This is not about being racist or having to change our mindset, forever. It's just about doing what we need to do to protect ourselves, our families, our loved ones, and our countrymen and women as a whole. So yeah, these are things that I would suggest. Um, Moving forward, I think the government has done the best that they could with the time and the resources that they have to prepare for this virus hitting our country. Um, I've I would like to actually get in touch with someone from our SOEs, whether it be the Minister, Pravin Gordhan, or anybody else. We need to actually put things in place right now. We've done what we could to combat the virus because it's there. We need to now look beyond the virus. If we're not going to do that there, we're going to get ourselves into a lot of trouble. I hate the fact that unemployment is so high in my country. I hate the fact that the cost of living has gone up. I hate the fact that we have load shedding. Um, I hate all of that there. That being said, we have civil liberties in our country. We have the right to express ourselves. We have the right to be angry. But remember, we have responsibilities with regards to that there. So yeah, during this time of crisis, I would seriously like, if anybody out there knows of how I can get in touch, I would really like to get in touch with regards to somebody at our SOEs or our trade and industry, because once this ends, and it will end, guys, moving forward, I think it's about time that as South Africans, not just government, but as South African citizens, we took our future back into our own hands. Um, One of the biggest things that's hurt us over the last 15-20 years has been the death of our manufacturing industry. With that being said, I would really appreciate being able to talk to somebody within government to ensure that once this crisis is over, we are able to provide and sustain ourselves in the country. We're able to put our people back to work and lower the unemployment rate, and then we are able to export to the rest of Africa. I feel that that's pretty important. Whether you like it or not, no matter how we feel about the country, we live in the best country in the world. Coming from an expat who's been an expat for the last 10 years, trust me on that there. You can't go wrong. Just one quote, guys. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. We are pretty much in the thick of things now. Government needs to get in touch with people that have gone through this year, that are able to assist for planning post the coronavirus in South Africa. Until my next update, which I will now be doing on a daily basis simply because of the severity of this virus. Be safe, take it easy, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.